Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
what?
Welcome to The Perspective. I'm Nate G, alongside Mr. C. Towns, and alongside Mr. Ed.
Yes, sir.
And you know what?
Sunday special.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you know what?
What?
I just gotta give y'all a chant. You know what? Me and Mr. Ed are gonna give y'all a chant.
I'm finna edit this.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! You wanna know why? Because we are in the playoffs. Can you believe this?
Night of the Living Dead. They came back. People had thrown dirt on them, had flowers on them. Everybody was dressing in black.
And I'm not even.
Can I just throw this out there that
What's
both
that?
of y'all was ready to cut them off?
Don't cut me off. Don't
Check your tape. Check your tape.
Listen, you just sit there and be quiet. Listen.
Not me.
Listen, all year long, and all our followers, y'all know Nate G, y'all know how upset and pissed off I've been at my Eagles, the way that they played this year, coming off of a Super Bowl championship, losing against teams that they should have beat, against Tampa Bay, against Tennessee, against Minnesota. There's a few more games in there that they should have won that they lost. You know what I'm saying? And Carson Wentz not playing to the same level that he was last year, but that's understood coming off of tearing his ACL and LCL, and you know what I'm saying, him just needing time to get back.
All I'm saying
but Nick Foles came in, right? Mm-hmm. Nick Foles came in and in a situation where everybody in their mind was like, there's no way he's gonna win this game. Yeah. There's no way Nick Foles is gonna come in, go to LA, and win that game. And what did Nick Foles do, y'all? Nick Foles came in, went to LA, threw for 270 yards, no touchdowns, one interception, but was moving the chains, moving the ball.
But now, I gotta say something, because all that sounds good, right?
Right.
But if my memory serves me correct, only one Eagles fan picked them to go there and win.
I like.
So when I
appreciate it, sir.
When I peeped through the bandwagon peephole and saw him outside, if it wasn't for Minnesota losing, and I was so happy, I just opened up the door and let him in.
But not just that though. But not just we gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going.
Go ahead.
So Nick Foles beats the Rams in LA, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And then what happens? Houston comes to Philly. I was like, there's no way we're gonna win that game.
Yes, you said there was no way on a lot of things, and every time he said
you say no way, that team wins.
And he threw for 471 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick, 120.4 rating. And then against Washington, everybody had the Eagles destroying the Redskins, which they did. But we needed help. We needed help. We needed Chicago to beat Minnesota in Minnesota. And what happened? Chicago beat Minnesota in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, choke artist, choke job. Thank you, Kirk Cousins. I love you. Appreciate you. And now we're in the playoffs. And nobody wants to see the Eagles in the playoffs. Nobody. Because what happened last year is what's happening right now. For whatever reason, this team rallies around this guy, Nick Foles. Nick Foles elevates everybody's game. He motivates everybody's game. He inspires everybody's game. And it's so crazy because the defense this year has been nothing like it was last year. And even though Nick Foles is an offensive player, he's somehow even able to motivate and inspire the defensive players. That defensive line is playing like they were last year, getting after the quarterback.
I like Nick Foles. I really do. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Two things happen that, I mean, he's been able to put up good offensive numbers. That's fine. But it's got two things happen that cause the Eagles to win, right? And the two things are the defense are getting turnovers, which they didn't, right?
At all.
Listen, they got 17 turnovers. They got to have probably more than half of that in the last 4 or 5 games, right? And the other thing is they dedicated to running the ball. They made a commitment to run the ball. Right? And that has changed the way teams have to defend them.
All right. Now y'all spew's over.
I know Dallas don't want it. New Orleans don't want it.
First off, you can
nobody want it.
Kill the Dallas.
Chicago don't want it either. Because we're gonna go into Chicago on Sunday and we're gonna win this game. You wanna know why? It's just one simple fact. It's just simple. Nick Foles. Nick Foles, y'all.
Are you done? Can I talk now? All right. Don't bring up Dallas. Dallas swept y'all. Chicago. I know y'all want to hear something for Chicago. All that blasphemy about this whole Nick Foles. What did you just say? The big points is Eagles able to get turnovers and run the ball. Who's the #1 ranked run defense?
It can
The
be Chicago.
Chicago Bears. What answer do y'all have?
Darius Rose.
Hold on.
Who's been balling out since he came back from injury. He's been balling out since he came back from injury. He's been playing really well.
Hold on. Let me finish. You're killing. Oh man.
He hasn't been playing well, Darius Rose?
He's been playing well, but what top defense did y'all play?
Yeah. Now this is
y'all beat the Rams. They don't have a top defense.
It's
the Houston Texans. Not a top defense.
But those are good defense.
That's a good defense.
It's a good defense, but it's not a top.
Still a good defense.
It's not the Bears. Y'all won't stop
the
it.
Bears. The Bears.
No, it's not the Bears.
The Bears. I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as I'm concerned,
It is in Chicago.
It's in Chicago.
What is wrong with y'all right now?
well, I'm an Eagles fan, and unlike the average Eagle fan, I pick them all year round. Pick them down the stretch when other people were saying there was no way it could happen. But we won't go there. Chicago does have a very, very good defense. That's the thing that scares me as an Eagles fan, going to Chicago, playing against that defense. They get pressure on the quarterback. And here's the thing that really scares me, right? Out of everything they do, they far and away lead the league in turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
They turn offenses over.
Interception.
If you throw an interception,
strip sack,
they're returning it the other way.
See, and my problem with that whole little thing y'all just did, all right, y'all beat the Rams. But the Eagles have been having this problem of, we'll beat the Rams, but then we'll lose to teams that you're not supposed to lose.
Not since Nick Foles took over.
Nick Foles is...
Carson Wentz probably, the way Carson Wentz been playing this year, he probably would have lost to the Redskins. And I'm a big Carson Wentz fan. But how many games this year was Carson Wentz the starter for the Eagles? He comes in and just loses against bad teams.
Nick Foles
lost a couple easy games in the beginning.
I know. But for whatever reason,
now I'm going to talk.
For whatever reason, Nick Foles has to come in.
Has turned the ball over every game he's played.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Every game.
And he's still been able to win. He was still able to overcome it. And I think the same thing's going to happen on Sunday.
The Bears.
Yo, Saint Nick is in the building. It's unexplainable. It's unimaginable. But Nick Foles just gets it done. I wouldn't be surprised if he do another pick in Chicago.
If he throws, oh my goodness. Go ahead.
It can't be more than one.
It's not looking good.
It can't be more than one.
It's not looking good.
It can't be more than one.
You turn the ball over in Chicago.
It can't be more than
and
one.
And my thing is this. Forget the interceptions. Who's stopping Khalil Mack? Crickets.
Run game.
The #1 ranked rush defense.
I mean, nobody's been able to stop him all year. But
Jason Peters?
No, he ain't able to stop him.
I'm not scared. I'm not. Are you scared?
Yeah.
Any normal fan, look.
Scared.
Dallas can be
seeing what I've seen the last 3 weeks. I'm not scared.
And I'm picking the Eagles to win this game. And here's why. And to be honest with you, I think they're going to turn the Bears over. I think they're going to be able to turn them over.
Our defense is playing crazy right now. And during that
saying he's not.
During that 3-game winning streak with Nick Foles at quarterback, we played teams who's had much better offenses than the Chicago Bears offense. Houston, Texas offense is way better than Chicago's offense. LA Rams offense way better than Chicago Bears offense. You know what I mean? And with the way our offense is playing, I think we're
gonna. Robinson coming? Is he? I mean, he was hurt here. I don't think he played their last game.
Who?
He's been hurt for.
But I mean, they are 9th in points.
Yeah.
Because defense, they're averaging at least a defensive touchdown a game.
No. They score like they do.
They're averaging at least one defensive touchdown a game.
They score 26 points a game.
So all we got to do, and Nick Foles, yes, has turned the ball over the last 3 games, but if we can just not give them a defensive touchdown and make them score offensively on our defense, I think we can win this game.
If it comes down to defenses, Only way the Eagles have a chance to win this game, the Eagles have to score more than 21 points. Just like I said it all year. If the Eagles don't score more than 21 points, they don't have a chance.
I think, for me, the key for this is for them. They're going to have to turn over the Bears. If they can turn the Bears over,
it's over,
and get some short field.
Honestly, I don't think that matters.
I do.
You got look.
Since
the turnovers matter on the fact that when you get them, you have to make them pay. Because last time I checked, y'all want to talk about beating the Rams? Chicago held the Rams to, what was it, 6?
Yeah.
What was the score of that game? They 15-6. They held the Rams to 6 points, and they shut Todd Gurley down. Y'all talking about some Sproles?
Now you're saying that the Eagles have to. You're saying
Nate G says Sproles.
Dennis Sproles has been getting it done. What are you not watching?
You don't understand, but
I'm not saying
we're not saying he's.
I'm not saying he's the be all end all. But he's been a nice complimentary piece to help this offense just get back to the line. That's all I'm saying.
But the three of them together combined have been able to do damage, but none of them are themselves are dominating anything.
All right. So you shut down our run game. Okay, are you going to be able to stop Nick Foles in this offense through the air? Because Nick Foles has been airing the ball out.
Look. My thing with you guys is,
and I'm hoping it's not winning.
Can y'all handle the pressure? It's cold. Chicago's going to blitz. They're going to. Especially if I see in the first half that they're getting pressure off a 4-man rush, it's over, because that's what killed the Rams.
My fear is their pressure and the fact that they'll be able to get turnovers off of it. That's the only thing. We can win the turnover battle, and like I said, that's a big if. We can win the turnover battle, and we can just have a semblance of a run game. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be dominant, but you got to be committed to it, because there's no way you can be one-dimensional against that defense. They'll kill you.
Even if you score. I mean, let's just. I'm curious.
2017 Eagles.
20.
That's a good score. That's a good score. I'm gonna say.
I think we can hold their offense under 20 points. I think we can turn them over. I think that short field will give us enough time to get a touchdown or two and a couple field goals.
I'm gonna say 24-21 Eagles. 24-21. I think that's a good score. Both our scores I respect.
I got the Bears winning this game.
And that's fine.
The defense.
You're an Eagle hater. That's fine.
It's not even about being an Eagles hater. No, because you want to hear something crazy? No, you want to hear something crazy? I'm going to say it right here, right now. If the Cowboys win Saturday, I'm praying that the Eagles win. Because I want y'all to go to New Orleans.
And listen.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. But again, with Nick Foles playing, I can't. I admit it. I admit it. I'm literally admitting to the.
I'll go for half.
I'm literally admitting to both y'all. It's inexplainable. It's unbelievable. For whatever reason, the Saint Nick magic.
The tide is turning in his head.
When he comes in, dog, he just balls out. He's doing what he did last year. He's picking up where he left off last year. That's all I'm saying.
I like that excitement and I like that enthusiasm. I wish I had seen it a little earlier than now.
Wasn't I logically picking the Eagles earlier in the season to win against teams that they should have beat and they didn't win?
Sure.
And you too, Mr. Ed, you had those same victories that I had, and they were losing those games, bro.
But I didn't give up on them. I kept it a bean.
No, every game this year, literally, you had to win it.
And let's be real though, because let's not act like Nick Foles didn't play at the beginning of the season.
He did.
Right. And you're right. And he struggled, but for whatever reason, Nick Foles flourishes more when the stakes are the highest, when the lights are the brightest. It makes no sense.
He flourishes more when he has a run game.
You in this run game?
It's the truth.
It's the truth though. That's what got y'all in the playoffs.
It's the truth.
So Eagles gonna win.
I got the Bears winning. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see you guys turning the ball over, whether it's a strip sack from Khalil Mack or an interception.
We'll see what happens.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna say, because let me just. If Eddie Jackson gets another interception, he's taking it to the
Isn't he hurt?
I don't think so.
Yeah, they turned. Like I said, they turn teams over.
He's nice.
Yeah.
If that defense gets it, put it like this: if that defense gets either 2 turnovers or a touchdown on defense, I got them winning this game 28-17.
Okay.
Got the Chargers going into Baltimore. This is right here a rematch.
Listen,
Chargers.
Lamar Jackson.
listen. Listen. This is a game. Other than my Birds, this is probably the game I want to see. I think the Chargers take this game. Right.
Because they played them already.
Yeah,
They know what to look for now.
Yeah.
I give you that.
And this is again where I go to.
And they probably talked to Baker Mayfield and say, how'd you give that trouble to all that? I mean, now you want to talk about defense. Baltimore is, we just talked about how scary Chicago is. Baltimore's scarier than them defensively. I just don't think they can muster up enough offense to beat the Chargers.
And again, I got to ask myself: inexperience versus experience. Phillip Rivers versus Lamar Jackson, a rookie quarterback, never been in this spot before. I got to go with Phillip Rivers. It's in LA.
And mind you, the Chargers do have a decent defense. They're
Right.
different. We talked about that before in prior shows. Their defense is good, and their offense is outstanding. And I don't think as great as
Lamar Jackson's 7-1, people.
Yeah,
And the Baltimore Ravens have the #1 defense.
they do. That's what I said. If you think the Bears' defense is scary, their defense is even scary. I just think San Diego offensively is good enough to be able to score against them
In Baltimore?
In Baltimore.
In that weather?
In that weather. And I don't think Baltimore's offense is going to be good enough to be able to put up.
Is this game in Baltimore or
in
LA?
Baltimore.
I thought it was in LA.
No, Baltimore won the division.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and they 12-4, right? 12-4 going to like a.
And I can't. All right. What did you say is the main reason? What was your reasons?
I
gotta look at these games right now for you. But go ahead, because I'm about to tell you some stats. Go ahead.
Listen, I think their defense, San Diego's defense, will keep Baltimore's offense from putting up enough numbers, and I think San Diego's offense is good enough to put up some numbers even against that tough.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
He started week 11.
Sure.
Even in the game they lost.
Sure.
They've put up over 20 points in every game.
Sure. Who'd they play?
Okay, great question.
Because I know they did it
Hold
against
on.
the Steelers.
Hold
And
on.
everybody
I got
puts
you.
up
Hold
points
on.
against the Steelers.
I mean, the Chargers, the Browns, Buccaneers, Falcons, Raiders.
The Buccaneers, the
Bengals.
Raiders, the Falcons, all teams that give up a lot of points. They've been in shootouts all season, all those teams.
But you can't make that. All right, they put up 22 points on the Chargers in LA, and they held that high-powered offense to 10 points.
All right. I think it's going to change. I'm telling you.
I just feel like in the
That cold
playoffs.
weather, I don't see no California.
I just feel like you gotta be able
doing
to.
nothing in cold weather. They want that 70, 65 lowest.
nice
they
and cold.
put sleeves on when it's 60 degrees outside.
Well,
Have you been to LA? They put on Uggs during the summer. You gonna stop?
That's true. But again, inexperience versus experience. Lamar Jackson, first playoff game.
Hey,
the brights are the lights are the brightest right now for him. You got to be able to put up some kind of points in the playoffs. In my
Get
opinion.
all that. I've been saying it since like the middle of the season. What wins in the big time games? Defense.
And a little bit of offense.
They're doing it. He's doing it. You can say what you want. I don't care if they kick 5 to 7 field goals. It's points. That defense is shutting people down. It's in Baltimore. It's in Baltimore.
That defense is nice.
That defense is a problem.
All right, what's your score?
I got Baltimore winning this game. I got them winning 24-13. I just don't. And also, too, y'all are going to hate me for this comment, but I felt like one of us has to say it. When's the last time Phillip Rivers really balled out in the playoffs? You want to talk about history?
It's been like 10 years.
The man's been in the league for how long?
It's been a while.
And what has he done?
But this year, he turned back the hand of time. This year.
He didn't turn back a hand of time. He just showed up. Because what do you mean? Like, this was his best season?
I mean, he's not playing like an old man. You know what I'm saying?
It don't matter. When he was a young man, he didn't play like this. That's what I'm saying. I can't look. Phillip Rivers,
I like the playoffs. Like
I like him
in the beginning of his career.
I'm not saying that Phillip Rivers.
He went like 10 years without making the playoffs.
By any means, he's not trash. Sure. But he's going to have to continuously show me something.
Yeah, and like I said,
and against this defense, I can't. It's in Baltimore. It's cold, and you're from LA. Good luck, man.
Home game, best defense in the game.
And they run the ball.
You know,
I can't. I can't do it. If LA was at home, I'd probably give you a better chance.
I
would pick LA if they were at home.
But I like.